Is it the trade deadline yet?
No.
Is it the trade deadline yet?
No.
What about... It's in 2 weeks!
Leafs lose 4-1 to the Buffalo Sabres, and I think it's got a lot of fans hoping for that trade deadline to come a little faster.
You know, despite the loss, I think that was a really historic game.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was his first game in Toronto as a Leaf.
What do you mean? No, it was his first game in Toronto, period.
What?
Well, I mean, he's never played in Toronto before, so people wanted to drop a couple $100 to go see him.
You do know he plays for the Marlies, right? You know the Marlies, tickets starting from like $10? Never mind. But as I mentioned, yesterday was Justin Pogge's first home game with the Leafs, and I'm not sure how you can blame it on him. I mean, he certainly wasn't the hero of the game by any means, but you gotta really look at those goals. The first goal was on a brutal turnover. On the second goal, Cabina had his man, but he didn't really have him. You can't just stand next to the player you're covering. Don't shoot that puck! I'm warning you. But bingo bango bongo, it's 3-0 at the end of the first, and fans are getting on Pogge.
But the Leafs outshot the Sabres, it's all his fault!
You know, getting lots of shots doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna score. Ask Jason Blake from last year. But I should give credit where credit's due. Ryan Miller played an excellent game and made some ridiculous saves. And to the Sabres' credit in general, you can tell they really want to stay in that top 8. My question of the game, guys, Justin Pogge gets the start next game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Do you agree with that move? Because really, how are you supposed to get better in the NHL playing one game at a time every couple weeks? Then again, how do you justify it with the performances he's had? And Tank Nation, I gotta address you. After last night, do you have a bit of an empty feeling inside? You know the Leafs lost, they didn't get any points, but something just doesn't sit right with you? Well, it could be that Steven Stamkos got his first career NHL hat-trick yesterday for the Lightning, but they somehow lost in regulation to the Blackhawks. And the reason that affects you is despite the Leafs losing, they're still 3 points up on the Lightning. So my second question, the Leafs are 4th last in the league. Do they have what it takes to fall into the bottom 3?
Or I guess what it doesn't take?
But that's it for this game. I'll see you next game when Steve Mason and company come to town. Peace.